Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's video, we're going to talk about something Disney can't do in regards to the Star Wars canon timeline. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee. Greetings, Exalted Ones. Greetings to all you Jedi, Padawans, and younglings out there. This is Star Wars Coffee, covering everything you need to know about the latest developments, news, and leaks in Star Wars, and as always, giving you my analysis. The Skywalker saga is officially complete, with the conclusion being the Rise of Skywalker. Now, a couple of days ago, I did a video talking about the Chosen One prophecy being fulfilled for the current canon timeline, with The Rise of Skywalker and the rest of the sequel trilogy actually bringing it to its completion. I know there was a lot of comments on there talking about people who couldn't believe that I was talking about this and thought that this was just crazy, but you know, one of the things we gotta remember is the canon timeline is the canon timeline. Whether we like it or not, you can pick and choose what you like to read, what you like to see, but in regards to the canon timeline, it did fulfill the prophecy. Now, they did kind of have to retcon the prophecy a little bit, but whether or not that's, you know, a big deal or not, it does fit with the current canon timeline, and I thought I would bring that to light, so you can check out that video on the channel. But what I wanted to do in today's video is kind of like a sister video with this one here, which is what I want to talk about, which is something Disney cannot do if they want to continue to maintain that the prophecy has been fulfilled. Or if they go beyond it, they have to do it in an extremely careful way, and I don't even think that there's a good argument for that. But since I don't think there's a very good argument for that, let me start with that one. So if they did want to go past the canon timeline, which we have from the High Republic to the Rise of Skywalker, what the ending of the Rise of Skywalker symbolizes is how Rey has managed to bring balance to the Force, in the sense that the Jedi now, and like Rey's reformed Jedi, now have the balance within themselves of both light and dark, bringing that constant balance to the Force. And with the First Order being defeated, this now just essentially leaves Rey as the last Jedi, maintaining that dark and light within herself in order to maintain that balance of the Force, in the natural Force and in the living Force. And so what we have is, if Disney was to go past this, the only way that they could foreseeably do that without ruining the Chosen One prophecy is they would have to make it so that Rey teaches up a new Jedi Order with that principle in mind, which is to say that they would have to have Rey be teaching people, unlike Luke, where Luke said that, you know, the light is good and the dark is bad, and essentially in the same way that the prequels did it. Luke dealt in to a little more of the darkness than they did in the prequels, but Rey did it a lot more heavily, and now she has found that balance in the Force. So each trilogy continues to maintain and get closer and inches closer towards that ultimate balance, which is what we now have in The Rise of Skywalker. And if you were to go past that, you would then see Rey having to teach the Jedi Padawans and younglings that she has to have them be aware of their darkness, but to not let it overpower the light, but to be a fine-tuned balance. And this would have to be the case, right? And if they were to go on past that, at some point that would change, and then they would have to figure out a new prophecy. The prophecy would end up being broken. But if they actually wanted to keep, and that's the only way they could foreseeably do it, non-canon, like if you were thinking about it from a realistic perspective in terms of writing that, at some point, if you were going to go past that, it can't all be a bunch of stories about peaceful Jedi. It would have to be just a story about smugglers or things like that, about non-Force sensitive beings. But, you know, that's not typically what Disney's going to do. So they can't really go past that. And that's essentially my whole reason, is they can't go past it, because then it would completely wreck the entire thing that George set up with 1 through 6, and that Disney managed to retcon and fit into 7 through 9. So if they were to go past that, they couldn't actually do it in a way that continues to maintain the entire storyline that George set up with 1 through 6. And what I mean by that, to delve into that a little bit deeper, is they had this whole prophecy set up. And remember, 1 through 6 maintained, especially 1 through 3, this prophecy was emphasized in the subplot a lot, where Anakin, you know, we discovered that he was born of no father, and then we go and Obi-Wan is questioning about the Chosen One prophecy, and then you end up seeing Obi-Wan tell Anakin that he was the Chosen One. And so all 3 of those, you have pretty definitive plot points hinging on that prophecy. And same thing by the time you get to 4 through 6, you have Yoda and Obi-Wan continuing to talk about that prophecy, tying back into the prequels. And then when you have 7 through 9, you have Luke teaching Rey about the old and ancient Jedi text, which is the start of their retcon of the Chosen One prophecy in order to justify the fact that there was a sequel trilogy in the beginning. And then once you have Rey evolve to the point where she embraces the dark and the light, using that Force dyad between her and Kylo Ren, then you have achieved that ultimate balance by the time that Kylo Ren ends up saving Rey by healing her with his life force, and the Force atoning for that by taking Kylo Ren's life away, putting him into the Force, which is what allows Rey to maintain that balance now between the light and the dark, which again, retcon or not, is how it is. So if you were to go past that, literally from a realistic point, there would be no conflict and it would all be about peaceful stories if Rey were to teach these Jedi correctly. So that is how that, Disney can't go past that unless they want to completely wreck everything that 1 through 6 did and that Rey ended up justifying by 7 through 9. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. May God bless you and the Force be with you always. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.